Welcome to Time by the Tent, up here on a Friday evening, trying to catch the elusive whitetail deer. Got some good food for the weekend, and a couple of projects here and there. So I will see you in the deer stand momentarily. Alright, I think there's more light here now. Made it back to camp. Didn't see anything. A couple of blue jays. That was pretty much it. It's dead quiet right now. I mean, if you were on the back side of the property, you could probably just talk normally and I could hear you. It's just really, really quiet. Forecast shows about 4 a.m. rain coming in, light rain through about 10 a.m. So if that's the case, I won't be going out in the morning. It's, I don't know how cold. It was 50. Let's see what it is right now. It was 50 whenever I got in the stand. And it is, what is it, 42-ish? Really has gotten cold. The dampness has really dropped in. So it's like 38 in the tent here. So I got to get the stove going in here. I'll get the fire outside going. We have for supper, what are these? Upside down, thin chopped pork loin, boneless, center cut. And then I've got loaded potato salad. So that's the plan right now, and let's get you back in the light so you can see me. I noticed when I was editing last week's, it was hard for you to see some of what was going on in the tent, even though I have this LED grow light, 4-inch LED grow light, which illuminates. For me, I can see everything just fine, but for the camera, it really limits the light intake. So I've got this other light. I've got another light that I can bring to throw more light in the tent. So let me get the fire outside, sir. Let me get changed and get this tent warmed up. Alright, there it is. Going to add the barbecue sauce to it and the loaded potato salad. So if it's raining, like I said earlier, I won't be going out. Now, if I was seeing deer on the trail cameras every morning and afternoon and all times of day, I'd go sit out, put the umbrella up, and sit out in the stand and see if I get one, but haven't seen anything going on 2 weeks tomorrow on the trail camera. Like I said earlier, that it was just completely dead still and grunted and rattled and there was nothing there. Now the neighbor, talked to him last week, and he said that his activity has completely shut off too. Now he has bear, even though we're adjacent to one another, he has had bear on his cameras, and he would always have deer on his cameras. And since early September, the same as us, that activity has just ceased to exist. We've had sporadic 1 or 2 here or there, but nothing like August and early September activities. So, got the fire going. It's about 70 in here. Very nice and comfortable. About 40 outside. Supposed to get down to 37. Tomorrow night, supposed to get down to 30. So, we'll see what the night brings. And just relaxing here. And I would hunt in the same stand that I hunted in this evening if I go out in the morning, which I don't think I will. It's hard to tell with the camera. I don't have the technology to show you the stars, and I did show you a little bit of the moon earlier, but with it being so cold and the leaves off, you can just see everything. So, yeah, stove's stoked up. I'm just gonna kind of see what happens. Good morning from the Northwoods of Wisconsin. As you can see, did not go out this morning as it just stopped raining about 15 minutes ago. I've got 2, I'm going to call them chipmunks, running around here. Clearly they don't like me talking to you. So, let's see if I can. Very small. Anyway, so got the fire going. And I wouldn't shoot those anyway. They're just too tiny. They'd sit in the palm of your hand like they look like a kitten. How cold is it right now? About 39, 40 degrees. So I'm gonna get the fire stoked up. Really didn't get that cold in the tent once I got the heat in it. It's going now, and there's a chance of another shower rain this afternoon. But like I said last night, if I had deer on the trail cameras every time, all day, every day, I'd been out in the rain this morning hunting them. Or if it was gun season, I would have been out hunting it. But sitting out in a nice weather when there's no deer is just not as fun, and even less fun whenever it's raining. So that's where we're at. Figure out what I'm going to do here. I might go take the shotgun and go squirrel hunting, take a walk around the property, see if I can spook anything up, kind of see what what out there looks like for this evening. So it's 9 a.m. and it stopped raining. We came another little shot of rain after I talked to you last. So I am just going to go out and walk a couple of trails in the woods. It's about 38 degrees, 37, 38 here at camp, and see if I can get a squirrel or two, and if I can bump a deer and at least see something out there, kind of know where to go tonight. So if anything happens, I will let you know. Otherwise, I'll let you know when I get back to camp here. Okay, walked around for an hour and 45 minutes, kicked up 2 grouse, didn't shoot at them, too far away. Not sure how you hunt those things without a dog. Walked out of the 40 acres, oh well, on that side out of the 36 acres, 35 acres, walked 10 to 15 acres of it. Didn't kick up any deer, spook any deer, see any tail, anything like that. Walked through 2 rain showers. It's now sprinkling again. Did find an old, I'm going to say it's hydraulic fluid bucket that's been all shot up, and then a starter fluid aerosol can. You can see it's all been shot up. Back whenever, years ago when they logged it, I found trash like this just scattered in the woods, and I'll take it home and put it on a recycling pile, and at some point take it in and get, you know, pennies per pound for it. The campfire, or the stove is still going, so that's good. I'm gonna turn the Tacticam to the side. Anytime I'm by myself and in the woods, I throw the camera back on the tent, because you never know who may or what may walk up with seeing the vehicle down in the parking pad. So I think maybe it stopped raining again. Just gonna go in, kind of regroup. I will hunt tonight bow. I don't know which stand yet. I don't know if it matters. And I won't hunt in the morning. It makes no sense getting up when the very high probability is there is no deer out there at this point. Not seeing any rubs or scrapes, which would indicate an off balance in male to female, doe to buck. Even though we saw a lot of deer on the camera in August and early September. So that's where we're at. The hat, that's Holly's hat. I can't find mine, so, and I don't want to use the camouflage one and get it all hot and sweaty. If you're wondering, the shotgun is a Remington 870 12 gauge Express. It's got an interchangeable barrel on it. Let me get the exact specs on it. Remington 870 Express Super Magnum. And then I'm using, for small game, I'm just using Winchester 12 2 3/4 6-shot 1-ounce load, and then that's got an interchangeable barrel on it. It's got a rifled barrel that I can put on for deer hunting. In Wisconsin, you have the option, any weapon that you can ethically take down a deer. So shotgun, 7mm Magnum, 223, you know, whatever, 10mm handgun, I can use that. They even allow 22 caliber rifle, which I don't see how that can ethically take down a deer. In Illinois, where I grew up, you were very limited on the type of load, the number of shells, and the type of gauge. You couldn't use rifle. It was 10, 12, 16, 20, or 28 gauge shotgun, and that was it. And the predominant gauge was 12 and 20 gauge. Few people ever used 10 or 16 or 28. So, alright, when something happens, I think I'm going to get lunch going here in a little bit. It's almost 11 o'clock, so I will get that figured out, get a fire going out here, and we'll probably have hot and spicy Spam, and see if that's any better than last week's hickory or bacon Spam, which tasted nothing like hickory or bacon. It tasted like less sodium Spam. As you can hear, it's raining again. I do have the fire going out there. Gonna have French style green beans in the can. I'm just gonna cut the top off, set it in the fire, and I'm gonna try the Spam hot and spicy and see how that turns out. This, I believe, is what was forecasted for this afternoon. It's not even noon yet. They were saying, I think 2 to 3 we're supposed to get some rain. I don't know. But I have been in a lot worse places on a Saturday morning, afternoon than in the woods in a tent during a rainstorm. I'm sure you have as well. So I'll take this. I've got the Spam cooking. I've smelt it. You know, you can smell, like, on things that are supposedly spicy, you can maybe smell it. I don't smell any heat coming off that, but we'll see what it tastes like in a few minutes. Okay, so there's the hot and spicy Spam. I gotta get a fork here, a spoon instead of a fork. And then I got my French cut green beans. Let's see how hot and spicy this is. There's a little heat to it. For me, it'd be like a little less than a jalapeno. Now there's more heat. That'd be like a jalapeno, eating a jalapeno. So good little heat. So I'm going to eat this. You can hear the rain still coming down even harder now. And we'll just wait it out. No deer out there, so what's the difference? And one squirrel. So I'll eat this, enjoy this, and relax a little bit. I'll see you then. So I added some of this mild Taco Bell sauce to it. I won't get it again. It's a little just too spicy. I'm eating it all. When I say hot and spicy, they are right about that. They are wrong about the hickory and bacon, but hot and spicy, they got that one right. That's coming down harder now than it has all day. coming down harder now than it has all day or last night. 60 degrees in the tent, got the stove going nice and hot, and just waiting it out. The way it looks like it's supposed to stop raining about 5 o'clock, so whatever that means. So it's a little bit before 4. Hunting gets dark about 6. So I'm going to go out and see what I can do. It's 37 degrees right now outside. Going to get down to 30 tonight. Rain has just stopped. It's been raining from 11 to about 2-ish, heavy, and then misting and spots here and there of heavy rain up to about 15 minutes ago. So I'm going to get in the stand and I'll see you there. The same stand we were in yesterday evening. In the stand, it's misting, and then you get short spurts of sleet every now and then. Nothing to be concerned with, but if there's any deer here, we'll see if they move. If there's not, well, that's why we're not hunting in the morning. Then this happens. Coming up the embankment to get to camp, slipped on the mud because it had been raining, and this was in the pack, and cracked the screen. It appears to still be recording, just cannot visually see what's going on. I do have multiple backups at home, just didn't bring a backup camera, but much rather have this happen to my recording camera than my phone. So if you're watching this and there's still more content, then everything's recorded, just I can't view it. If not, I'll tell you what I've done since this occurred. Okay, so saw 2 deer this evening, and they were there. They came in off my left side, and then one went to behind me, and it didn't like something, and within 2 minutes it started trotting back in the direction it went, and so did the other one follow. The other one stayed off my 3/4 area from left to behind me, stayed there and just watched the other one for a while. And so have seen 2 deer now. So I probably will have to go out in the morning to see. Now they probably will never ever walk that way again. They were 30 yards to my left, and as dense as that woods is, there is no way that I could, with a gun I could have shot through some of the limbs, but with a bow I've got 13 to 18 yards is about the max that I could possibly do in certain areas. So 2 big does. So we'll go from there. A good supper made here. We're going to have chicken salad, and I'll show you that whenever I get that done. So there is 2 deer on the property at least 1 squirrel and a couple of grouse. So it's supposed to be cold in the morning, 30 degrees, so we'll go out and if all goes well, go out and see what we can make happen, at least for a couple of hours in the stand. So I will get the table cleaned off at some point tomorrow, but I'm going to use this as a table right now. Got classic iceberg salad, cheese, honey mustard, and white chicken breast in a can. I probably won't use all of that in there because that is 12.5 ounces and there'll be liquid in there. So that's what it'll be. I'll put it together and show you. There is the salad, chicken, cheese, and lettuce there. Healthier than Spam, which we might have tomorrow for lunch. So, that being said, we'll eat that. If anything happens tonight, which I hope it doesn't, I will let you know. Other than that, I will see you in the deer stand if all goes right in the morning, and we'll see if we can see those 2 deer again and maybe get a shot at one. So, thanks for hanging out with me this weekend. If you made it this far, be sure you subscribe and like. Certainly comment if you have questions, and I will get them answered for you. Heavy frost on the pumpkin this morning here in the Northwoods of Wisconsin. 30 degrees when I left this morning, 29, 28 now. I haven't seen any deer at all. It's been no wind. Leaves are extremely loud falling on the ground. So I'm going to head back to camp, warm up, regroup. May take a walk out here with the 12 gauge, see if I can find any squirrels. Maybe do that a little bit later, and then possibly move a trail camera. And I got to cut some wood, and that'll pretty much wrap up the weekend. It's about 10:30. I'm gonna go make a loop, see if I can see any squirrels or possibly a grouse or a rabbit, or I've never seen a rabbit up here. And then I'll come back, make lunch. Got to do some wood cutting, or got to cut some firewood, fill the wood box up, do a little blockage in front of the tent to keep the cold air out, and then that'll be all. Didn't see any deer. Kicked up 2 grouse, which very difficult to hunt those without a dog, unless you really know what you're doing. Biggest thing we ever had down south was quail, so that's a whole new animal for me. Saw 1 squirrel back over here, heard it barking, went to it, could see it at a distance, jumped through the trees. By the time I got to it, it had just nestled up and not moved. I did find this neat looking rock. It's got some purple runs in it. So, put it over here. I'm going to fix lunch now. I'm not sure what I'm going to have yet. I'll let you know when. So I'm going to have the rest of the salad from last night, and then some beef stew that I've got cooking. Made just a small fire just to warm the can up. We're already boiling here, so won't be too much longer and I'll be ready. Okay, so I cut another tree down, brought all that wood up, cut 2 trees down, and then everything that was down there that's cut. So what I want to do with these here is I want to put them on the outside, 2 of them on the outside, to about here on each side, and then on the inside I will cut a specific one that I can lay here at night when Holly and I are up here, or I'm up here by myself. A couple of reasons. One, north wind comes from that way, and I've noticed that it, even though it's down, there's still cold that gets in there, even when this is totally closed. And I know there's a mouse that lives somewhere around here, because I saw it yesterday or Friday when I got here and I was changing, and yesterday morning, yesterday morning, I think it was, I saw him pop out and then run back in. Whatever. I've had lizards come underneath there. I've had a frog come underneath there, so that's going to kind of detour that. But mainly just to keep the cold air from going underneath there. And that's what I'll do with this here. I'll cut them down, and the excess will just be firewood. There's the final product. You got 2 logs there on each side to stop the wind, and 1 on the inside here to stop the wind. So I think that's going to make a big difference when I'm on this cold night. Alright, so I got it all stacked. Now, mainly what I've got, all of these trees around here are maple. They are all living, so I'm not cutting them down. Down there by that pond where we parked the car, or slough or swamp, that's all pine with 1 elm, and there's some cherry down there, but predominantly almost 90% of it down there is pine, and good dry pine, but pine is a soft wood and it burns very quickly. So I try to mix in to get the fire going hot and get the tent warmed up. I really pumped the pine in there, and then I've got some other elm and maple that I work in the fire. Over here is the tops of the trees. I don't like wasting the trees. So the top, that's all campfire. That'll all get burnt up next week on our 3-day trip. With a good bed of coals, and it's not good for wood stove. So that's where we're at. That is completed. We're almost done for the day, or the weekend. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me on this long weekend. Got to see 2 deer, got some projects done, and just had a good time in the Northwoods of Wisconsin, and I appreciate you coming along. If you made it this far, why don't we put wood in the comments below, W-O-O-D, so I know you made it this far. And until next time, we will see you then.